Welcome to the video. I've got a Trek Domane. What's a good first road bike? Trek Domane aluminium, specialized elite. Now I do love this bike. This is probably one of the best bikes you could buy internationally. You know, obviously I have an audience in Australia, and for them you probably get a Reed Falco Elite with the 105. But a lot of people in the USA or Germany or Deutschland, you know, where they can't sort of get bikes like the Reed, etc. You've got a bike like this is the Windspace SLC, but I wouldn't recommend this for a noob because it is made out of carbon fiber and it is super light. So the chances of you falling over, landing on your bike and cracking it is probably going to be high. But if you do want a high-end carbon bike, this is what I'd recommend. I can no longer get my Pragma windbreak frames, so I'd recommend a Windspace SLC. If you do want one of these, use the code durianrider10 for 10% off anything from Windspace. Now let's get back to a beginner's bike. What would be a great beginner's bike? I would recommend aluminium. Reason why aluminium is just because you're going to have your crashes and you're probably going to fall on your bike, etc. You fall on your top tube. And if you've got a carbon fiber bike, a super lightweight one like a Windspace SLC or a specialized tarmac SL7 or SL6, etc., you fall on that top tube, you're probably going to break it. But if you fall on an alloy bike's top tube, you're probably going to be okay. You know, I should say the bike's going to be okay. You might not be okay. You might bust a nut or split your labia in 3 places, but your frame should be alright. So alloy is just going to be stronger for the noob crashes that everybody has. This bike I do like now versus the Trek Domane. This is a great bike as well. Let's have a look at some of the specs. But they've got the brakes, the lead chi, you know, like this is crap brakes. Trek, why do you spec such crappy brakes? You know what I mean? Like this, do you want people to stop or not? I mean, we don't need disc brakes, but you know, we need something a bit better than lead chis. Yeah? The lead chi RC482. This is just a joke. What else we got here? You know, let's see what fork we got. The fork's aluminium fork. Maybe carbon. Anyway, it's not a bad bike. I do like the versatility on it. Trek they did have some great bikes. The Amonda ALR5 was a great Dune Rider recommendation. That's since been replaced by a heavy-ass disc brake bike. But the Trek Amonda ALR5 rim brake was an incredible bike. Natasha, you got some giggles in the background? You're good there? You got your happy pills in? So these brakes here, this is absolutely shocking, you know, just put a Shimano brake on there, please. Like, even just the front, all right? Trek, what are you doing? Look, the wheel's not even in properly. Look at the gap here, you know what I mean? Who took these photos? A professional photographer, but obviously not a professional bike mechanic. The wheel's even in wrong. The brake pads aren't even adjusted properly. Like, it's just, damn, shit's getting real here. That's a cool little setup. The light underneath, that's good. Good bars, you know. There's a good lights, little Bontrager. The Nog's also a good one. So it's got the rack compatibility. I like it. But the thing is, the frame's good, but this group set's just going to be heavy. I'm going to say scrap this. Just delete the Trek. Let's stick with the Specialized, you know. You can still put a rack on there if you want. You can put bike packing bags on there if you want. You put a tail fin rack on if you want. It does have a full carbon fork, so you want to be careful of that steer, ring of death, etc. But you're going to service you want to service your headset, clean it out, re-grease every 5,000k at least. And you never want to ride with a loose headset, right? And you also don't want to ride with an over-tightened headset, regardless if you're using a steel fork, alloy or carbon steer, etc. You just want to look after your headset. These are very simple things to service and maintain. Very simple. If I can do it, and if an incompetent middle-aged degenerate such as myself can maintain these, anyone can, all right? I can do stuff with my eyes closed, so if I can do it, you can definitely do it. There's plenty of tutorials on GCN, etc. So I would recommend this. I would recommend save the extra money, you know, get your sister to join the strip club if she's legal. Just save extra money, man. Just do what it takes, you know. Do what it takes to get extra coin to get a nicer bike with a 105 group set rim brake. You're going to be glad you did. Because that Trek, whilst it's better than walking, I would still recommend if you're going to get a brand new bike, you know, you don't know the second-hand market, fair enough. A lot of steep learning curves there. You don't have someone like me in your corner, then you're going to have to go brand new bike. I would recommend get this Trek. It's an incredible bike that looks really good. It's probably one of the best bikes out there internationally that I can recommend. Internationally specialized, international. It's probably the best bike out there I can recommend that would probably be sold in every country around the world. Now in Australia, you have Reed. In Europe, you have Rosa, Germany, Deutschland, Rosa bikes, and they're pretty good value as well. But this is just going to be a great setup. You got threaded bottom bracket. You got the Shimano brakes. Do you have Shimano brakes? Did Specialized put Shimano brakes in here? Let's hope they did. I mean, Specialized, you make enough money as it is. Put a Shimano brake on there. Crank set, Praxis Alba, so they cut costs there. There's brakes, Axis. Oh, they're not a bad brake. The Axis brake's not a bad brake, but it would have been good if they did put a Shimano brake on there. But the Axis is fine. Better than those freaking Leachy RC482s, man. They belong in the recycling bin. Seriously, Trek. Trek is notorious for putting shitty brakes on their bikes. Specialized better. But anyway, that's the deal. It's crazy times. Shimano make an incredible rim brake. Axis, it's like an OEM brake. Still satisfactory for sure. That's what I recommend. What cassette size we got on here? Scroll down here. We have 27.2 seat posts, fantastic. 26mm tires, cool. What do we have here? It's 11 speed KMC chain. Cassettes, 32. It's 32 on there. So it's 32 and 50-34. So you run a full size compact crank set. So it's going to be pretty much good for most climbs, tarmac climbs around the world. Maybe the Mortarolo or Deutenon, you want something bigger cassette wise, but smaller chain up front, but otherwise it's going to be fine. This is going to be an incredible bike to build incredible fitness for the brand new road cyclist. The geometry is not too aggressive. You can always flip the stem if you want, more stack height. You can't really go wrong with this bike. In my opinion, you walk into a shop, you get them to fit you up, I can't think of many things I'd change in this bike, really. I'd be happy as it is. If I had to ride this the rest of my life, I'd be happy as is. Even the Axis brakes and that, the saddle should be alright for me. If I had to ride this the rest of my life, I'd be definitely be happy with that. So that's how to get into road cycling. Get yourself a Specialized LA Elite. If you want more information, go to durianrider.com. Get my bike buyer's guide called Durianrider's Lean Body Bible. That'll save you thousands of dollars on gimmicks, fads, time wasted, etc. Alright. That's the two things I'd recommend. Specialized LA Elite, 105. Don't get the cheaper ones. Get this one. 105 is fantastic. It's as good as Duras, a little bit heavier. It's far better than the Tiagas or Sora, Claros, etc. All right, it makes a huge difference. Big difference there. So just this bike, trust me. I've ridden one before in this spec. They are a really good bike for the money.